Give it a second. Yeah. You can scream right now, yeah. Good. Now leave it up.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Xfinity Center for today's game featuring the Oregon Ducks and your Maryland Terrapins. And this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we salute our
Too big. I'll do it in a second.
screenshot.
Yeah, I'll do it in a second.
Rappers of the arena.
Gillespie to inbounds. He finds Queen. Queen turns, puts it up at the buzzer, and in! Maryland is headed to the Sweet 16 for the second time in 22 years. It's the freshman Derek Queen. He's the Maryland hero.
Weathers looking for anybody. Running out of time, she finds Barker, stripped away, and Maryland will enter the Sweet 16. Beating Alabama by 3 in double overtime, capping off the game of the year in college basketball.
The best plays,
Dixon from the corner for the win. It's no good. Maryland hangs on.
and biggest moments across 11 Division I sports. This is WMUC Sports, the official home for Maryland Student Radio.
Mack on Cortez. To advance. Scores! Lauren Mack. Save 2, scores the winner, and Maryland advances to next weekend and the Sweet 16.
Lauren Mack, the hero on the night.
Using your help to broadcast live in College Park
Washington keeps it, dives into the end zone. He's got a touchdown.
and across the country.
Welcome to Foxborough, Massachusetts,
For Camp Randall Stadium,
Newark, New Jersey.
Eugene, Evanston,
Indianapolis.
Champaign, Illinois.
Right outside of LA. It's Maryland at UCLA. So sit back and hit subscribe. Let's get you out to the game live on
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports. WMUC Sports. Your Terps.
It's your Terps. Your Terps. Your Terps.
Your Terps, your station.
Well, it's getting cold outside in College Park, Maryland, and as of right now, so is Maryland women's basketball. The number 16 Terrapins have lost a season-long 3 straight games, including 2 straight overtime losses at home. But for the Terps, all of those losses to the Iowa Hawkeyes and Washington Huskies can be slowly faded away with a January finale win against the Oregon Ducks, a team from Eugene that flies east and finishes off Maryland's January to forget. Here on a Saturday evening, it's Maryland versus Oregon. It's coming to you live, all on WMUC Sports. Well, hello, thanks so much for joining us. So glad we can be with you on this Saturday evening. Alongside Peter Kelly, I'm Ryan Martin here from the Xfinity Center, getting ready for Terps versus Ducks. First time Oregon has made the trip to the Xfinity Center to take on Maryland. And Peter, we were just talking about this for the Terps. 3 straight losses. You look at it recently, it was that big loss by 30 points at UCLA. Then home losses, both in overtime, to number 14 Iowa, number 25 Washington. This feels like a game where Maryland wants to get right, see some more consistency after going into extra time the last 2 losses and before an upcoming 2-game road trip.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Ryan. That last loss was agonizing. On Wednesday, the Terps lost 83-80 to the Washington Huskies, but they had chance upon chance upon chance to get that win. In particular, at the end of regulation, they let Washington get back into that one. They led by as many as 13, and still the Huskies got it to overtime. But then Maryland had a chance at the end of overtime with Poffenbarger at the free throw line. She only got 1 out of 2. And then it was the Savia Sellers show, 38 points down the stretch from the Washington Huskies point guard to get that win, but it was just so tough to see that one slip away from the Terps, especially in a game where they led by so much.
It's a game where the Terps led by as much as 13 in the second half. Terps end up losing that one by 3 points, and as you just mentioned, 3 overtimes across the last 2 games. That's a lot for a Maryland team that's depleted with 4 season-ending injuries, including to 2 starters, and Leah Barthelme and Kayleen Smeichel. Terps and head coach Brenda Freese just saying in that loss, that was the experience of Washington showing. Savia Sellers had 38 points for the junior point guard, a new career high and the most that we've seen at the Xfinity Center so far this year. But Freese saying a lot of her players grew up. Kendall Walker, Addie Mack, both freshmen who see a lot of playing time. Mack, the starting point guard, with Barthelme out. It's an opportunity for Maryland to get some of the experience, especially before February's games really matter ahead of March.
Yeah, these are the games you're going to look back on down the stretch and say, hey, we grew during that game. And the fact of the matter is, Ryan, as the calendar turns into February, you can look back on January and say, hey, that's a month we want to forget. 5 conference losses to date, and if they lose today again, it'll be a 6th. But only 7 games left after today's matchup, and they've got to get those wins as they start to matter even more.
For the 17-5 Terps, it's the same starting 5 they've had during this 3-game losing streak. Point guard Addie Mack, shooting guard Oluchi Akanawa, small forward Yarden Garzone, power forward Izimenme Ozzy Mamadou, and the center today, Sailor Poffenbarger. As the Terps wearing their red uniforms on a red out, supporting ovarian cancer here at the Xfinity Center. Terps going from left to right as the 16-7 Oregon Ducks go from right to left. They tried out guard Katie Fiso, guard Sophia Bell, guard Ari Long, and forwards Mia Jacobs and Ias Etute. In the middle circle for head coach Kelly Graves' Ducks, it's Ahis Etute, sophomore from Luxembourg, to go up against Poffenbarger. Oregon coming off of 2 straight wins after a season-long 4-game losing streak. They're in the alternate black uniforms, that oh-so-cool duck right on the chest, yellow numerals, and a yellow trim. Good crowd on hand, students making their presence known after missing out because of the snow day in that double overtime loss to Washington on Wednesday. Maryland's had 3 days, no school here at the University of Maryland because of inclement weather. A lot of time to let that sour taste sit in the mouth, but get it out here. Etute, Poffenbarger in the middle, and this tip-off is won by the Oregon Ducks, who start with it going from right to left. Ducks looking for the first possession. Ari Long, left corners. 3 is up, no good. Offensive rebound goes with Oregon. It's Etute. Back outside, still on the first possession. Up for it, Mia Jacobs. Mid-range shot from left side, hits nothing. Ping-pongs around and goes to Maryland's Akanawa. Here comes Alucci into the paint, coast to coast. Right-handed layup is off the glass and good for the first 2 points of this game. Comes less than 30 seconds in.
That's what the Terps needed. Okonawa uncharacteristically quiet, just 6 points against Washington.
She got the first two in this game. Into lane goes Oregon's Atute, and she's fouled by Sailor Poffenbarger for the first time in this game. Atute heads to the line at 2-0 Terps, 36 seconds in.
Maryland foul number 6, Sailor Poffenbarger. That's her first personal first team foul of the quarter. At the line,
A lot of tread on these legs for Maryland, again coming off of 3 overtime periods across the last 2 games. Here Poffenbarger picks up the first foul, and Atute swishes home the first free throw. 2-1 Maryland, 9:24 left in the first quarter. Atute is 73% free throw shooter. The sophomore from Dunelage, Luxembourg, puts the second free throw up, touches the rim twice, and it misses. Sailor Poffenbarger brings through the rebound. Here comes Maryland from left to right. Addie Mack, the freshman from Minnesota, guards the offense and passes the Yarden zone on the right side. Back to Poffenbarger, works it left side to Oluchi Okonawa. Okonawa back to Mack atop the key with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Maryland's second offensive possession as it goes to Okonawa. Working down the left lane, picks up her dribble. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Spin move, and it drops down.
Okonawa was so crafty around the rim, and we saw that earlier. 2 different finishes.
4-1 Maryland, a minute in. Here's Ari Long from the right corner. Her three-pointer is too short. Rebound goes to Addie Mack. Here comes the Terps again. Mack has it poked away by Atute. That's a steal. Ducks on a 3-on-3 fast break. The center back to the left side with Long. Swung all the way back around to the right side. Oregon looking for its first field goal in this game, down 4-1. Minute and a half through. Here comes Katie Fiso. Stolen away by Okonawa. One-on-one break with Jacobs. She puts a left-handed layup up. It's good, and the foul. Luchi Okonawa scores Maryland's first 6 points. That matches her total from that double overtime loss on Wednesday. Now she heads to the line for one more, too.
Okonawa, we've seen her 6 early points all around the rim. She's so good in what she does at the low block, but she's also this team's leader in steals, and she's good at turning defense into offense. She's got a chance for the three-point play here.
Duke transfer and reigning ACC tournament most valuable player. She heads to the free throw line, a big bend in the knees. Free throws up and swishes home. Maryland 7, Oregon 1, less than 2 minutes into this game. All 7 points coming from Oluchi Okonawa. Not too surprising as she leads this team with 16.5 points per game. Now Oregon looking for its first field goal. Three-pointer, good for Mia Jacobs on the right corner. Makes it 7-4 Terps.
Jacobs up top the leaderboard in three-point percentage for the Stuck squad, 40% from Trey.
Now she guards Addie Mack, who passes to the right side with Sailor Poffenbarger. Maryland making each of its first 3 field goals inside to Sailor Poffenbarger. That's a miss short on the reverse layup, gets her own board. Passes it back to Okonawa. It's another made field goal for Oluchi Okonawa. She scores Maryland's first 9 points in this game.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Terps.
9 points for Okonawa.
Back up by 5 on the other side. Here's a Atute for Oregon. Her right-handed layup is too strong. Rebound goes to Maryland's Issy Menme, Ozzy Mamadou. Terps back left to right. It's Okonawa again. She's got the hot hand. A one-on-one matchup against Ari Long, but it's taken away. Stolen. And here comes Mia Jacobs from right to left. Jacobs, right wing, thinks about a 3. Now works inside. Bounce pass to Atute. Takes the contact from Ozzy Mamadou, and she'll be fouled. Already the second time to the free throw line today for Atute. So far today, she is 1 for 2 from the line. She'll now try to work into this 9-4 deficit Oregon faces less than 3 minutes in. Oregon just 1 of 5 to start at the free throw line. Atute swishes home the first free throw. She has 2 of Oregon's 5 points. Second free throw for Atute is good, and the Luxembourg native adds her 3rd point. 9-6 Maryland. Kendall Walker comes into the game with Maria Boyko, replacing Sailor Poffenbarger. As the three-pointer is up, and they were going to call an offensive foul. Yeah, it'll go on Boyko. So Boyko checks out of the game after just 10 seconds. Her and Kendall Walker came in for Sailor Poffenbarger. And Ozzy Mamadou respectfully. Now inside, Atute, right-handed layups off the glass. It's good too. Atute's got 5 of Oregon's first 8 points. Ducks back within 1, 9-8. We're 3 minutes into this first quarter as the ball is with Kendall Walker. Here's the Beltsville, Maryland native off the bench. Works from left to right side around the arc. Now into the paint, picks up her dribble, takes the contact. Now bounce pass out to Addie Mack. She works around the charity stripe, puts up a fadeaway jumper, 2 touches off the rim, and pulled down by Oregon's Atute. Ducks looking for their first lead in this one. 9-8 Maryland, less than 4 minutes through. Dribble handoff goes to Atute. Passes it over to Long. And then the screen from Atute, that's an illegal one. Give possession back to the Terps.
Maryland messing up Oregon's rhythm early on. I can see on defense, Addie Mack is marking their leading scorer, Katie Fiso, like white on rice. Mack is sticking with her, near corner to far corner, not letting her get any separation. The Oregon Ducks don't know what to do.
Fiso averaging 15 points and a ridiculous 7 assists per game for Oregon. And just as Maryland gets ball offensively, they go illegal screen for illegal screen. This one's set by Mira McLean. She'll check out of the game in favor of redshirt freshman Brianna Williams, who didn't see any time during Wednesday's double overtime loss to Washington. Now she gets into the game less than 4 minutes through.
Yeah, Williams missed the last 2 games, actually. She played in the UCLA game, but just went 1 of 7 from the field. Hopefully she can have a better showing today.
She still wears that brace on her left shoulder. Got the redshirt all of last year for the 2-time Montana Gatorade Player of the Year. Kendall Walker tips a pass out of bounds for Maryland, so Ari Long to inbound for Oregon. Terps up 9-8, 4 minutes into the game. There's Katie Fiso down left wing to the left corner. Jamia Jacobs' three-pointer is in and out. Rebound goes to Maryland's Addie Mack, and the point guard starts the break. Here's Yarden Garzone, spins it around to the right side with Kendall Walker. Picks up her dribble at the elbow, and it's taken away for a moment. Loose ball goes back to the Terps. Lucia Okonawa, a spinning layup, no foul, and an easy miss for Okonawa. Rebound goes to our first jump ball of the day. Maryland's got the arrow pointed its direction. So the Terps will retain possession. 5:35 left in the first quarter. Number 16 Maryland up 9-8. Mack in left corner. Now walks the baseline, kicks it way out to Kendall Walker. And Walker has to jump all the way up from her 5'9" frame. Tips off her hand and goes out of bounds on the near sideline. Oregon to inbound. It's been better defense for the Ducks. Maryland started 3 for 3 from the field. Since then, 1 for 4. Here's Fiso. Left corner jumper, no. And the rebound goes to Kendall Walker. Loose ball foul added to by Oregon's Ari Long. Be an inbound on the far side for Maryland.
Oregon foul number 14, Ari Long. That's her first personal, 3rd team foul.
Couple earlier bench substitutions for Maryland, looking for some fresh legs after playing 3 overtime periods in those last 2 games, it seems.
Yeah, in that last game, double overtime, just 7 points off the bench, and they were all from Kendall Walker. So I think Coach Rees wants to see more from the people in the reserves.
Players like Yarden Garzone had to put up a game-high 48 minutes. She passed inside and missed shot by Addie Mack, and the rebound goes to Katie Fiso. Here come the Ducks from right to left. Fiso picks up her dribble, finds it with Sarah Ryanbus back into the game. Over the right side where Avery Kane has checked in. On the right wing, she picks up her dribble in front of Addie Mack. Good defense from the freshman. Bounce pass to Mia Jacobs. Into the paint, left-handed layup. Drops down and add the foul for the senior from Perth, Australia. She gives Oregon its first lead in this game into our under 5 media timeout. And the Perth native will have 1 at the free throw, 2 when we come back. Oregon on a 6-0 run across the last 2.5 minutes. And the Ducks have Maryland trailing 10-9, 4:36 to go in the first quarter. We're going to step aside for our first media timeout. Thanks so much for spending your Saturday with us as you're listening to Maryland women's basketball on WMUC Sports.
so much for being loyal to CQ. And of course, make sure you bring it back with you next game. Now, let's bring our attention back to the game.
Chris Weller. Her 17-year career has been spectacular.
I'm Chris Weller. I have Maryland pride.
The winningest head coach in Maryland basketball history.
I'm Brenda Freeze, and I have Maryland pride.
I'm Christy Renner Scott, and I have Maryland pride.
Hi, I'm Vicky Booth, and I have Maryland pride.
E. Jones, it's good.
I'm Brianna Jones, and I have Maryland pride.
Take a drive and
Crystal Langford, and I have Maryland pride.
at the buzzer she got
I'm Riley Charles, and I have Maryland pride.
in her swing. She fires.
I'm Chrissy Hauser, and I have Maryland pride.
So it's for the easy.
I'm Peyton Sonnen, and I have Maryland pride.
Miller, did she hit you at the buzzer?
I'm Dyson Miller, and I have Maryland pride. I'm Melissa Thomas, and I have Maryland pride.
Hope you're having a sensational Saturday. That's what we got here at the Xfinity Center for some number 16 Maryland women's basketball. The Terps down 10-9 to Oregon, 4:36 left to go in the first quarter. Free throws up after the and one opportunity by Mia Jacobs, hits off the rim twice and missed for a Maryland defensive board. Addie Mack starts his first possession after the media timeout. Terps going from left to right. First deficit Maryland faces, it's down by 1, 10-9. Kendall Walker on the right wing, guarded by Jacobs. Mid-range shot is going to be too long. Barely hits off the rim before it's Oregon's Katie Fiso who grabs the defensive rebound. And then in transition, Mia Jacobs for Oregon sends Mack to the ground. That's going to be an offensive foul to give ball back to the Terps.
Oregon foul, number 23, Sarah Rambis. That's her first personal 14 foul.
Set in the mix-up, they're going to put it to Oregon's Sarah Rambis. It's her first foul. Fourth team foul for Oregon. Poffenbarger dribble handoff to Addie Mack atop the key. Back over to Poffenbarger on the left wing. Works inside against Jacobs. Picks up her dribble at the right corner. Mack takes the screen down the right baseline. Two ducks in her face, and she's fouled going up for the layup. Addie Mack looking for her first points today. She'll try to get it at the free throw line where she'll have two shots, an opportunity to put Maryland back up in the lead with 3:48 left to go in the first quarter.
You know, Ryan, despite the loss on Wednesday, I think Addie Mack is a Terp that came away with a little bit more confidence than she had prior. She hadn't made a three since January 8th versus Rutgers, but yesterday, made 3 of 4 and 20 points for the freshman.
So far today, 0 for 2 from deep. But the Minneapolis native sinks home her first free throw, ties this game at 10. And it was Mack who had to play 41 minutes from the starting point guard position last game. Her second free throw is too strong off the back rim. She goes 1 for 2, ties this game at 10. Brenda Freeze saying her starting freshman point guard grew up in that double overtime loss to the Huskies. Maryland 10, Oregon 10. Down the right side, Sophia Bell passes it back out to Tute. Mia Jacobs with another handoff to Katie Fiso. Fiso stops at the right elbow, picks up her dribble, finds Bell from the right mid-range. Her shot, it's an air ball, pulled down by Maryland's Addie Mack. Here comes the Terps from left to right. Coast to coast, Mack right-handed layup, and she's swatted away by Katie Fiso. It was the 5'9" Mack who went up against the 6-foot Katie Fiso, and Fiso sends it away. It'll still be Maryland's to inbound under its own shooting hoop. Arden Garzone gets the honor, passes it into Mack. First time in this game, it's knotted up at 10. 3:08 to play in the first. Mack picks up her dribble at the free throw line, looking for a teammate. Has one on the right wing with Yarden Garzone. Garzone takes the right screen from Brianna Williams. Pick and pop to Williams. Williams down the right side, spin move. Picks her dribble up, puts the layup up, and it hits nothing besides the left side of the glass. And here comes Oregon's Tute after the rebound. Tute guarded by Garzone, back out to Jacobs. Jacobs picks up her dribble And they're going to say it's a travel on Jacobs. Give possession back to Maryland. And once the 5th turnover of the game for Oregon, Maryland's got a matching 5. They're tied there in the turnover battle, and they're tied in the scoreboard 10-10 with 2:41 left in the first quarter. Here's Addie Mack, 0 for 3 from the field. She's got that one free throw, though. Passes to Garzone. Pick and pop to Poffenbarger. Her straightaway three-pointer. It's too strong. Rebound goes back with Oregon. Here comes Fiso. Left corner with Kane. Back to the left wing. Now inside, Jacobs. Works it out to Fiso. Here's Oregon's leader in points and assists down the left side. Jacobs, left corner three. In and out, rebound to Maryland's Okonowa. Here comes Alucci. She's moving coast to coast. Left-handed layup is blocked away. Block and rebound to Avery Kane. And Oregon goes the other way. Here come the Ducks from right to left. Still tied up at 10. Jacobs, 3 from the left corners, no. Well short, and Addie Mack pulls in her 5th rebound already of this opening 10 minutes. Garzone down the right side. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Minute 40 on the game clock. Getting started in this first quarter. Poffenbarger gives it to Okonowa, moves it back over to Williams. Dribble handoff on the left side to Mack. Free throw jumper is too short. And again, it's a defensive rebound by Avery Kane, her 2nd in a row. On the fast break at Tute, right side, no Terp guarding her. And her layup is easy with the right hand. 12-10 Ducks.
Unfortunately, to the forward unmarked there in transition. Just someone who's often going to finish around the rim.
And Tute, a team high 7 points, 2 for 3 from the field. Poffenbarger thinks about a straightaway three-pointer, now works it down the right side. Right-handed layup, well, too strong. Goes off the glass and into the hands of Oregon's Fiso. Fiso, left elbow jumper, no. And Poffenbarger picks it up. Final 50 seconds of this first quarter. Addie Mack in transition. Takes the contact with the left hand, gets the layup to go two. Another and one opportunity for the freshman Addie Mack. Mack taking the contact on the first personal foul, 6-team foul that goes against Oregon and Katie Fiso. Mack heads to the line for the 2nd time today. She's 1 for 2, make her 2 for 3 as she converts the and one and puts Maryland up 13-12. Final 45 seconds of the opening quarter. On the other side, Fiso passed it to Tute. She's guarded by Ozzy Mamadou. From the left block, spin move, layup, no good. Rebound goes to Poffenbarger. Pass to Kendall Walker. Now Addie Mack in transition. Addie Mack's 3 is off the front of the rim. Maybe a rushed shot. She had plenty of time on the shot clock, which now turns off in the final 20 seconds. Oregon can hold for the final shot. Number 16, Maryland 13, Oregon 12. With 10 seconds on this first out clock, Fiso works down left side on Ozzy Mamadou. Back out to Tute. Free throw line jumper. 2 bounce off the rim. No. Rebound and second chance bucket, though, is good for Janiyah Williams. Or instead, it is Amina Muhammad who has the offensive rebound cleaned up for the 2 points that puts Oregon in the lead. It was a back and forth first quarter for Maryland, who saw a game high at 9 points from Alucci Okonowa. That was the first 9 points Maryland scores in this game. But number 16 Terps trailing Oregon 14-13 after our first quarter. We'll step aside in this 1-point game, but be back in just a moment for the second quarter as you're listening to Maryland women's basketball on WMUC Sports.
Now, fans, turn your attention to the video board, where it's time to scan the QR code on the screen for your chance to win a custom Maryland branded color door. Branded door courtesy of our friends at Thompson Creek. Vicky Briggs of Hansing, a 4-time first-team All-ACC academic honoree and captain of the 2003-2004 Terps, passed away in April after a battle with ovarian cancer. Representing Vicky on the court are her parents Victor and Lynn, her brother John and husband Evan, and her... Vicky lived a life full of courage, compassion, and boundless love. And And tonight, we're celebrating Vicky and raising awareness for the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance. Vicky, your legacy lives on in Maryland athletics and in this community forever.
We welcome you back inside the Xfinity Center as the Maryland Terrapins trail the Oregon Ducks 14-13 after 1 quarter of play. I'm Peter Kelly, he's Ryan Martin, and the Terps have to finish out this first half strong if they want to keep pace with the Ducks. They started out so hot, Okonowa looked like she may never miss, made her first 4, but since then the Terps 1 of 13, and they've only taken 2 threes, so they've got to get more efficient shooting in 2. Oregon will start with possession. They are on the left hoop in their black jerseys with the yellow numerals. It's Avery Kane on the left wing. To Fiso, back to Kane. Kane's got it on the left. Now Fiso at the top of the key, defended by Mack. High ball screen by Atute. Back to Kane, top of the key, 3, you bet. Oregon just 2 of 7 from distance, but they get that early triple to extend their lead to 4. 17-13. Oregon leads at 30 seconds gone in the second. Addie Mack pushes in from the left wing to the left block. Her layup is too short. And Katie Fiso for Oregon comes away with the board. She streaks up the floor. She's at the right wing, swings it up top to Muhammad. Now it's Avery Kane, the transfer in from UCLA, gets a high ball screen from Atute. Gets it back to Muhammad, who lobs it down low for Atute, who's got too much space down low, and she gets the easy layup with the left. 19-13 Oregon. They get the first 2 buckets of the second quarter, and they lead it by 6. Mack dribbles at the top of the key, a minute gone by in the second. Now Garzon's got it marked up by Kane. Garzon moving left to right, down to the right block, turnaround jumper falling away, no good, missed everything, and it trickles out of bounds back towards the Ducks.
That's Garzon's first field goal attempt of the day after she led Maryland during that double overtime loss with Washington. She had 24 points in that double overtime loss. A few times though there was mid-rangers that you questioned if that was the best shot. Maybe had one right there over Atute that goes as an air ball.
So Oregon will set up on the left hoop. 90 seconds gone, 8.5 to play in the second. Here on WMUC, Peter Kelly and Ryan Martin with you. Fiso's got it. Now it's with Avery Kane at the top of the key, defended by Oluchi Okonowa. They've got 6 on the shot clock. They've got to put it up. Fiso gets a screen from Atute, steps back, takes a triple. Got it. So I think her foot was on the line. They'll mark it as a long 2, but nevertheless, Oregon has their largest lead of the day, 21-13 with 8 minutes to go in the second. Ozzy Mamadou's got it on the right wing, hands it off to Addie Mack. The freshman pushes towards her left, now over to Garzone, swings it to Walker. Walker pushes in from the left wing, drives inside, puts it up, no. Or actually it does bounce around and it falls.
It's a good layup that you need from Kendall Walker. She misses her first 2 shots, then gets one to fall to stop the bleeding temporarily for Maryland.
Sat up on the rim for some time, but it did end up dropping, and Maryland cuts into the deficit. On the right wing is Atute. She holds it over her head, trying to find Fiso, who is cutting. Instead, Fiso backs it out, takes a right wing 3, and it misses way long. 21-15 Oregon leads, 7.5 to go in the second. Mack picks up her dribble at the top of the key, now to Walker on the left wing. Defended by Amina Muhammad, down low for Ozzy Mamadou, trying to go to work on Atute. Up and under with the right is good. So Maryland responds. They get back-to-back buckets down low. They trail it by 4, 21-17, but they are starting to draw back. Pass goes out to Amina Muhammad, who takes a long 2, no good, but the offensive board is there for Atute, and she is fouled on her way back up. She's heading to the free throw line for the 3rd time in this game.
Yeah, Tute willing to be physical, Peter, find her way to the line. Especially Maryland is noticing that too. That 3 Terps on her, so she finds a wide open Muhammad who simply just misses the easy left elbow shot. The thing when you do that though, if Muhammad's gonna miss that elbow jumper, Maryland has to get that defensive rebound with 3 Terps in the area. Instead of Tute pulls it down on the offensive glass and gets fouled for another opportunity at the line.
Yeah, they mark up the sophomore well, but she still gets the board. And the 6-foot sophomore from Luxembourg gets the first free throw at Tute, 6th in the Big Ten in rebounds, averaging over 8 a game. She's shooting about 3 out of 4, 75% from the free throw line. She's no good on the second. So on the day, she's now 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, but Oregon now leads 22-17, 3 minutes gone in the second. Garzon's got it on the right wing, back over to Walker, top of the key. Now Okonawa in the far corner. Okonawa holds it above her head, hasn't put it on the deck yet, now gives it up top to Poffenbarger. Marked up by Muhammad, 10 on the shot clock. Poffenbarger with the right, hands it over to Garzon. Garzon through her legs, sidestepping to the free throw line, has to put it up, 2 to shoot, and lost it. Astera Tuhina comes away with it off the bench for Oregon. She pushes it to her own left wing, and Oregon forces an unproductive Maryland possession. Atute catches it high, lobs it down low for her other forward, Muhammad, who puts it up, falling away from the hoop. No good, misses the layup badly from 3 feet out.
Great help defense from Okonawa.
Walker pitches it back to Poffenbarger, who head fakes on a 3. Now she'll pull it back out. Poffenbarger dribble handoff, Okonawa, right wing triple, no. And the rebound is there for Atute. Up ahead for Tuhina, Astera Tuhina from Pristina, Kosovo at the top of the key. Defended by Yarden Garzon. She gives it over to Atute, who's marked up by Azim Mamadou. 22-17 Oregon, and Atute throws it away. It is tipped out. It'll stay with the Terps. Subs come in, 5:47 to play in the second quarter. So the Terps check in 2 new forwards. Mir McLean, 5'10" from Baltimore, and Maria Boyko, 6'4" from Minsk, Belarus. Walker swings it to Poffenbarger on the left wing. She's defended over there by Mia Jacobs. 5.5 to play, 22-17 Oregon. McLean hands it off to Walker. Walker to Okonawa on the right wing, drives inside, tosses up a floater, and it goes. So Okonawa on the board in quarter number 2, and it's a 3-point game. Oregon still leads 22-19. Driving baseline is long, cross-court pass to Fiso, up top to Tuhina. Tuhina's gonna stop and pop from 3, and she gets that one to go.
Just a defensive miscue there from Boyko, as now Oregon has 3 threes to Maryland's 0.
Tuhina just 4.3 points a game, but she gets that triple to drop, and Oregon back out to a 6-point lead, 25-19, 5 to play. Okonawa drives inside, count it, and the foul. Okonawa, crafty off the window, and she's going to get a free throw coming on the other side of this media timeout. Maryland cuts the lead to 4. Oregon still out in front, 25-21, 4:53. The clock is stopped in the second quarter, and we will be right back with you after this short break here on WMUC Sports.
Hey students, scan the QR code to enter into our raffle for a 43-inch Smart TV. The winner will be announced during the fourth quarter and must be present at the end of the game to claim the prize.
All right, Terps fans, it is time to play our Cowardly Lion Challenge. Now, it's real simple. I have Noah and Sam here, ready to see who can make a layup, a free throw, and a three-pointer the fastest. Whoever wins this is going out of here with a special themed Wizard of Oz theme pack tonight. All right, Noah and Sam, you can start in 3, 2, 1, shoot! Gotta lay up first. Lay up first. All right, there we go. Let's get the free throw. Terps fans, I need some energy myself. Make some noise. Come on, we got the free throw. It's a contest. Let's go. Come on, who am I making advancements? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Almost. All right. Let's see. Who's gonna make it first? Who's gonna make it first? Use your knees. Almost. Come back on. Last shot. Last shot. You know what? Everybody's going home a winner today. Don't worry. Thank you so much for playing.
Back in after the media timeout, Oregon leads this one 25-21 over the hometown Terrapins here on WMUC Sports alongside Ryan Martin. I am Peter Kelly. And the Terps led by Lucia Okonowa thus far, their leading scorer on the year. She's got 13, but she's really been the only one doing it so far for the Terps.
Yeah, she's got nearly 2/3 of Maryland's points, Peter. Now she goes to the free throw line where she has an opportunity for her second and one of this first half. You can see the Wizard of Oz music playing. She's had a yellow brick road so far, leading the Terps offensively.
So Okonowa got a layup with some contact before the break, and now out of the timeout, she drains the free throw. So the three-point play is converted, 25-22 Oregon, and now Maryland jumps into a full-court press. Oregon's going to break it rather easily as it goes Tuhina to Jacobs, and Jacobs can dribble it over the timeline with no problem. Gets it back to the point guard, Tuhina. Pass over to Muhammad from DeSoto, Texas. 4.5 to play, 25-22 Oregon. On the left wing is Bell, up top to Jacobs, gives it back. Bell tries a three, bullseye. Sophia Bell, the junior from Portland, Oregon, gets her first points of the contest, and Oregon leads it 28-22. 4:20 to play in the second. Okonowa's got it on the left wing for the Terps. Trying to find Poffenbarger, now gets it to her at the top of the key. Boyko setting up for a screen, she sets it. Poffenbarger trying to give it to her on the roll, but it's poked away by Muhammad. Now Oregon can push. Tuhina across the court. Now back out to Bell, want another three. Faked, now she's gonna get her chance. No good off the front of the rim. Tipped around, there's a foul on the rebounding effort down low, and I think they're going to get Mira McLean, who got a little bit of piece of Mia Jacobs.
Yeah, they are going to be the second foul against McLean, who's known for her defense, Peter. He was looking at the lineup and seeing how Maryland's so struggling right now in the three-point battle. 0 for 3, even though they have the Big Ten leader in made three-pointers with Yarden Garzone. She checks into the game in place of McLean, so Maryland trying to play a little more defensively, but at the risk of losing three-point opportunities.
Oregon's inbound under their own basket. Now it's set up with Fiso at the top of the key. Jacobs trying to set a screen. Fiso still got it. She crosses over to the right block. Across the court to Bell. Sophia Bell drives inside, tosses it up, and gets it to go.
That's why you put McLean in the game. Bell just makes that right over Garzone.
30-22, Oregon in front. 3.5 to play in quarter number 2. Poffenbarger drives to the right baseline. She's marked up by Tuhina, and now she is trapped in the corner. She's falling away. She gives it to Okonowa as she was falling out of bounds. Okonowa now drives down low across the court. Garzone, left corner, 3, connects. What did you just say, Ryan? The Big Ten leader in three-pointers made.
They need a shot. Maryland finally makes the 3, and it's by who else but Yarden Garzone to bring them within 5.
Katie Fiso gets a high ball screen from Amina Muhammad. She's still defended by Mack. Swings it to Jacobs at the right wing, who drives to the right elbow. Now is stuck in the paint. Garzone pokes it away and gets the steal. 3 minutes to go. Oregon leads 30-25, but Maryland's starting to get some momentum. On the left wing, Okonowa trying to find Ozzy Mamadou down low. It was tipped right back to Okonowa. 17 to shoot. Okonowa drives to the baseline. Now finds Okonowa trying to post up. Traveling called. Okonowa shuffled the feet.
For the Ducks, number 35, Lavis Matute.
So a Maryland turnover gives it back to the Ducks. They make some changes. Atute is back in, their leading rebounder. She'll be defended by Ozzy Mamadou. Katie Fiso has it on the right wing, defended by Addie Mack. Gives it to Bell, marked up by Garzone. 2.5 to play. Oregon leads by 5, 30-25. Jacobs dribble handoff to Fiso. Fiso snatch dribble, pulls up from the mid-range, no, off the side of the rim. Okonowa yanks down the defensive board for Maryland. Across the timeline, across the three-point line, down low to the right block, wildly tosses it up, and it's another and one for Oluchi Okonowa.
When you talk about the three-point struggles in this first half, Peter, for Maryland, it's because Oluchi Okonowa is saying, no, I can do it the old school way, layup and a foul for the 3rd time today. Lucia Okonowa has been fearless so far. I think you're right. Those 6 points that she had in the double overtime loss to Washington, doesn't look like she sat well with her. She's already up to 16 here.
Terps keep going back to the well, and the well has not run dry yet. Okonowa's three-point play opportunity. The free throw is string music. 30-28, Oregon leads, but Maryland has the last 6 with 2:10 to play. In the left corner is Ahis Atute. Up top to Mia Jacobs. Now over to Katie Fiso, standing 30 feet away from the hoop at the top of the key. Now swings it. Bell, right wing three off the side of the rim, no good. There's a foul on the rebound down low. Ozzy Mamadou gets the whistle.
That's a loose ball foul that goes against Ozzy Mamadou, trying to box out Atute. That's one that you hate to see after Bell misses the three-pointer. Second foul on Ozzy Mamadou. But Peter, this is the moment right now. Terps on a 6-0 run. They made each of their last 4 shots, and down by 2, less than 2 minutes until halftime. This is where Maryland can put themselves in a great position before the locker rooms.
It starts with a stop here. The inbound play goes to Jacobs, tosses it up, left it short with the right. She gets her own board, and she gives it right back out to Bell. Now to Tuhina with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Tuhina drives into the right block, cross-court pass to Jacobs, passes off the defender, now chalks up a 3, no good. Okonowa defensive board from Maryland. Dribbling with the right, now to the left. She's got on the left wing, now to Garzone, and the Terps will reset. Poffenbarger lobs it down low. Williams got the seal off and the bucket.
Brianna Williams is using her size advantage. 6'2" against the 6-foot Sophia Bell. That ties it up at 30.
So Williams, her first bucket of the day, equalizes us at 30 apiece with 1:10 to play. Halfway through the shot clock, Tuhina's got it at the top of the key, defended by Okonowa. Okonowa waving around her hands. Tuhina puts it on the deck, and she loses it. Okonowa, a steal, trying to go up against Tuhina, lays it in with the left, and the Terps lead it. It is a 10-0 run for Maryland. Okonowa's got 17. And under a minute to play, the Terps back out in front. Jacobs' wild layup attempt is no good. Garzone pushes ahead to Okonowa. Okonowa, another layup opportunity, and it rolls in. Make it a 12-0 run, and it is all on the back of Oluchi Okonowa. 21 first half points.
Really, Maryland settling in. That was a great pass from Garzone to Okonowa. Terps looking comfortable, even though they were down by as much as 8.
There's a 10-second differential between shot and game. There's 7 on the shot clock. Fiso gives it out. Jacobs, left wing 3 off the backboard, no. Terps have 11 seconds. Poffenbarger gets the board, and she is fouled in her own half. So with 11.5 on the game clock, the shot clock is switched off, and the Terps can hold for the last shot.
Such a great run right now for Maryland, Peter. You mentioned 12-0 Terps are scoring on a run right now, but it's been that defense too. I think they've forced Oregon's Mia Jacobs into a couple bad shots. It's part of the reason why the Ducks have missed each of their last 6 shots. Maryland having both ends work right now, right when it matters most to try and take a lead into the locker room.
So the Terps have to go 94 feet. Oregon shows a full-court man press, but now they sag off. Inbound goes to Okonowa, 7 to shoot. Okonowa dribbles it with the right, gets the screen from Garzone, cuts into the cup, stop and pop from the mid-range is butter. And that is how the first half ends, 36-30 Maryland, and Oluchi Okonowa doing it all. Just an unbelievable stat line from the junior. 23 points, 10 of 13 from the field, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, 4 boards. You can't ask for much more from Okonowa.
Okonowa's got nearly 2/3 of Maryland's point production, 23 points for Maryland's leading scorer. As we see, Yarden Garzone just recently also hit her 1,500th career point scored. Garzone has done some things with that 1-3 that she's had, but this has been the Oluchi Okonowa show, including her almost single-handedly leading Maryland on a 14-0 scoring run right before halftime. This is the Oluchi Okonowa that was just absent, maybe left in the cold on Wednesday during that loss to Washington. And Maryland likes it to the tune of a 6-point halftime lead.
The Terps trailed it by 8 on 2 separate occasions, but they end the half on a 14-0 run to take a 6-point lead into halftime. 36-30, the number 16 Terps at home, getting some of that home cooking on this red out. 15 minutes on the halftime clock, and we will step aside. Terps out in front by 6 here on WMUC Sports.
Happy 10th birthday, Noel. Happy 75th birthday, Coach Trish. And happy 5th anniversary to Tara. And let's welcome the Southern Maryland Youth Basketball League. Thank you to all groups for spending your night with the Terps. Fans, please welcome to the court the mighty South of Maryland nationally ranked featured twirlers, Holly Croswell and Kaylin Easton. How about a big round of applause for Holly and Kaylin? Hey fans, tonight's entertainment is provided by the Kangaroo Kids Precision Jump Rope Team from Howard County, Maryland. As fitness ambassadors for the sport of jump rope for over 45 years, their performances have taken them throughout the United States and worldwide. Hey fans, please welcome to the court, the Kangaroo Kids! If you really want more, scream it out louder. Put it on the floor, bring out the fire, and light it up, make it higher. Push it to the limit, get it on. Watch me as I dance, another spotlight, listen to the people screaming no more. Captivating when I get it on the floor. You're impatiently waiting, I know you need me. Kids. For more information about the Kangaroo Kids or the schedule of performance, come to one of their functions or visit their website at kangarookids.org.
I always send mine as wait, but then they never say. They're weird.
Hi, dear fans. Get on your feet and welcome back on the floor, your Maryland Terrapins.
He right here with me. Turned up with my, turned up with my, turned up in my show. Yeah, cause I got that big 60,000 fans came to see me do my thing. Got a million and one haters, and then y'all can kiss my. Turned up with my, turned up with my, turned up in my show. Yeah, cause I'm right here with me. I'm a fit for head, yeah. Up with my twin, got a backwood full of sock and a bankroll full of beans. All that to the top. See me and ain't do nothing. Crop top with some biker shorts. I'm showing out my moose look. I'm feeling good tonight. I'm outside with your paper. Got brown skin, we drink, and black, we white. He gon' drop that head.
We're just about set for the second quarter here from the Xfinity Center, where number 16 Maryland women's basketball up 36-30 over the Oregon Ducks. From coast to coast, the Ducks fly east down 6 after Maryland ends the second quarter on a 14-0 run, thanks to 9 of those 14 points coming from Oluchi Okonwa. She's got a game-high 23 points, including 3 converted and ones. It's a big reason why Maryland up by 6 points entering the third quarter, right here on WMUC Sports. Back alongside Peter Kelly, I'm Ryan Martin with you, and so glad you can be with us on this Saturday evening. Peter, Oluchi Okonwa finishes with just 6 points in the double overtime loss Wednesday right here to Washington. Maryland still has that sour taste in its mouth. Maybe Oluchi Okonwa did after having just those 6 points as she came out in full force across those first 20 minutes.
Look, we talked earlier, the Terps are just depleted, and one of those injuries that they've had to suffer is Kayleen Smeichel, who was the leading scorer last year and was projected to be the same this year. But since she went out, in the 11 games before that Washington game, Okonwa was averaging about 20 points a game. So that's why that last game seems so out of the ordinary for one of the best pure scorers in the Big Ten. She's right back on the horse here on this Saturday evening, and it's great to see her in a rhythm as the Terps lead it by 6.
There's no Cheyenne Sellers from last year who graduated, then was drafted in the WNBA draft. And then, as you mentioned, Kayleen Smeichel, one of 4 season-ending injuries on this Maryland roster this year. So it's been players to step up like Oluchi Okonwa. She's got nearly 2/3 of Maryland's points as the Terps now go from right to left in this second half. Yarden Garzone to inbound right in front of the Big Ten Network TV table and get our third quarter started. So right out here at the Xfinity Center, a good Saturday evening crowd, also supporting ovarian cancer research as part of the theme. Inbound to Addie Mack. She's got 4 first half points on 1 of 7 shooting. Into the right block with Izzy Menme Ozimamadou on the first possession of the second half. She lays it up good with her left hand. Maryland 38, Oregon 30 in the first 15 seconds of the second half. Here come the Oregon Ducks, led by as much as 8 points in the first half. Ari Long on the left elbow. Her fadeaway jumper, that's good too. Long has her first 2 points in this game, brings the Ducks back within 6. Maryland up 38-32. Back to Yarden Garzone, who's got the lone Maryland 3-pointer so far. One of the captains in Sailor Poffenbarger, right side with Okonwa. Here's a 23-point score, and she just dribbles it out of bounds. Great defense there from Oregon's Sophia Bell, as Okonwa just couldn't keep it off of the red paint.
You can already see the adjustment being made. Instead of Oregon flying off, they bring 2 to the ball, and Okonwa just takes it right out of bounds. She didn't know where to go with it.
From defense to offense, Long to Jacobs, down to the right elbow. Over to Bell, now inside to Atute. Her right-handed layup is good over Sailor Poffenbarger. 4 quick points for Oregon, bring the Ducks back within 4. Addie Mack dribbles it. Just a minute and a half into this second half. Terps up 38-34. Spun around to the right side to Mack, now works it to the left with Ozimamadou. Atop the key. Fakes the handoff to Okonwa with 6 seconds on the shot clock. She works down to the right elbow. Right-handed layup is short. Ozimamadou gets her own offensive rebound, falls to the ground where 2 Ducks swarm her. And it's going to be a jump ball with the arrow pointing Oregon's direction. On our second jump ball, this one goes to the visitors. Maryland up 38-34, just over a minute and a half into the second half. Ducks so far led by Atute. She's got 12 points, 4 made field goals, and 4 free throws. She sets up at the low block. Now gets the pass from Jacobs. 1 dribble against Ozimamadou. Her left-handed layup. 2 bounces off the rim, and it drops down nicely.
Atute, a really good post player, despite being a little bit undersized. She's standing at 6 feet tall, but she's doing really well in the Big Ten against bigger competition.
She's got 14 points. Oregon back within 2, 38-36, 2 minutes in at a halftime. Okonwa at the left wing, thinks about a 3, now steps back. To the right side with Kendall Walker, her right wing 3 is no good. Touching the inside of the rim, and it misses into the hands of Atute. Here come the Ducks from left to right. Atute, coast to coast, left-handed lay is short, gets her own offensive rebound, and is fouled by Ozimamadou on her second chance opportunity. So Maryland takes a 14-0 run into the locker rooms. A little little bit of back and forth to start the second half, but now a 6-0 run for the Ducks. And a chance to advance that by 2 more points as Etute heads to the line for her 4th time today. She's made all 4 of Oregon's free throws, now make it all 5 as she swishes her first attempt. The Luxembourg native, country in Middle Eastern Europe, as she makes both free throws to tie us up at 38. 2.5 minutes into the second half, and we've got our 4th tie of the day to go along with 4 lead changes. Addie Mack bounce pass to Brianna Williams. Picks up her dribble at the right elbow, hands it off to O'Connor, works into the red painted area, and her floater is no good. Into the hands of Oregon's Mia Jacobs. Here come the Ducks, fast break. They fly from defense to offense. Hand off to Long, back to Fiso. Jacobs in the left corner, works it back to Fiso. She works down the right side. And they're gonna say that she traveled.
Oregon foul number 1, Mia Jacobs. That's her second personal, first team foul.
Said it'll be an off-ball foul that goes against Mia Jacobs, her 3rd turnover. To go along with what is Jacobs' 2nd foul. 38 all as the ball into the hands of Alucia Kanwa. Picks up her dribble, her lay off the glass, no, gets the first hand on it, but Etute has the defensive rebound. Now up for Fiso, she's running out of room, passes it back out to Long. Her layup hits nothing but glass. Now a 3-on-4 break for Maryland. Addie Mack from one side to the other, and she's blocked by Etute. A couple times today, the freshman's had the confidence to put up a layup in transition. It's been blocked a few times now by Oregon. That one goes off Etute. With Maryland to inbound under its own attacking hoop.
Yeah, weirdly, Oregon's one of the worst rim protecting teams in the Big Ten. They're in the bottom third, just averaging around 3 a game. But today already, they've got 5 in just 2.5 quarters.
Yarden Garzone on the right wing. Big Ten's 3-point shooter. Now pass it to the left block with Williams. Bounce pass to Walker, top of the key. Shot is too short off the front of the rim and into the waiting arms of Oregon's Katie Fiso. Fiso to Long. Back outside to Jacobs. Her left wing 3-pointer is going to be whistled off. Some contact under the basket. And we'll see who they call it on. They're going to call it against Oregon. 3rd personal foul on the California native and junior guard Ari Long. So it was a wide open shot for Jacobs. It doesn't matter though, as that one's waved off and we're still tied at 38.
Returning for the Ducks, number 42, Avery Payne.
Still Oregon on an 8-0 run as this game's tied at 38. 6 minutes exactly left in the 3rd quarter. Mack, just 4 points to her name. She's 1 for 8 from the field. Pass to Sailor Poffenbarger. Quick pass inside to Garzone. Volleyballs it back out to Williams. Her 3 is short. And Etute, another defensive rebound. That's Etute's 10th board. She dribbles it from defense to offense, stops, puts up a shot, a bounce off the back of the rim, and it drops down for a 2-point Oregon lead. Now quickly off the inbound, it's Okonowa. 23 points, but none since halftime. Okonowa works into the paint, back out to Addie Mack, straight away, 3's good. Addie Mack's first made 3, puts Maryland back up by 1. It ends a 10-0 Oregon run as well. And then another offensive foul that goes against the Ducks. This one's going back Maryland's way. Foul goes on Fiso. It's her 2nd turnover and 2nd foul. 13 foul for Oregon, just 1 against Maryland. Number 16, Maryland 41, Oregon 40, halfway through the 3rd quarter. Brianna Williams, dribble handoff to Okonowa. She's been locked up in this second half. Tries a mid-range shot, but it's blocked away by Sophia Bell. And it brings us to our 3rd quarter media timeout. A lot of scoring, but Maryland's starting to get a little bit colder as this 3rd quarter winds on. Terps have made just 1 of their last 9 shots. Still up 41-40 with 4:44 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back for more Maryland women's basketball. Terps up by 1 here on WMUC Sports.
off about something that you said, 'cause she doesn't get your humor like I do. I'm in the room, it's a typical Tuesday night. I'm listening to the
Back for more number 16 Maryland women's basketball here at the Xfinity Center. With 4:44 left in the third quarter, the Terps up 41-40 over their cross-country rival, the Oregon Ducks, a 1-point lead at the third quarter media timeout. Back with you and alongside Peter Kelly, I'm Ryan Martin. Peter, so far this third quarter, been back and forth. Alucia Kanoa has not been in the picture after having 23 first-half points. She's been a focus of the Ducks' defense.
Yeah, she's been limited, but we're seeing dominance from a new name in this game. That is Ahis Atute, the sophomore forward from Luxembourg for the Oregon Ducks. She's got to be Maryland's #1 priority now. She's already got a double-double, 18 and 10.
She is in the game and guarding Brianna Williams as Maryland has it offensively. Mention her name, here's Okonawa at the right block. She gets fouled. Terps 41, Oregon 40. As Alucia Kanoa heads to the line for the 4th time today. She's had 3 and 1s converted today. Now she'll have her first opportunity to shoot 2 and potentially put her Terps up by 3 with 4:39 left in this third quarter.
This is one of those times where you didn't need the shot to go in to see the skill that Okonawa brings. Oregon crashed 4 Ducks into the paint, but Okonawa gave a nice head fake to draw the contact and then went up to get the shot and the free throws.
First free throw is made for Alucia Kanoa. Gave her 24 points. She's been great all season, even better in Big Ten play, averaging 4 more points in conference play than in non-conference. You don't usually see that in the Big Ten. Her second free throw is too short, but the offensive rebound cleaned up by Maryland's Brianna Williams. Williams hands it off to Garzone on the left corner. Back over to Williams, top the key. Works into the red painted area and puts up a right-handed layup. That's pure.
I love the minutes that Coach Reese is getting from Brianna Williams here, down to the 3rd string in the forward position with Ozzy Mamadou in a little bit of foul trouble, but Williams has held her own going against Atute.
She's got 4 points on 2 made field goals. In the right corner, it was Long who was trapped. Now into the right block. Atute back out to Jacobs. Swung all the way to the left side. Did Alucia Kanoa get a piece of that, or was that just a bad pass from Jacobs? It'll be the latter. A turnover on Jacobs, her 4th of the day. It won't help a 4-point Oregon deficit. Maryland 44, Oregon 40. Terps take back over with 4:06 left in the third.
And you can see Coach Free starting to get a little bit of animation on the sideline, and in a good way. We've seen her in the past couple games. She's been a little upset with some of her leaders, but in this game, when the Terps start to force these turnovers, they look really sharp, and Freeze is happy.
Freeze coaches in her red suit jacket as part of the red out today. Okonawa to the right side. Williams left wing 3 off the front of the rim into the waiting arms of Atute for her 11th rebound. Here's Oregon going from left to right. Back to Atute atop the key. Avery Kane works from the left wing. Now atop the key for a moment with Sarah Rambis. But a whistle's going to go against Maryland defensively off ball. Give that one to Yarden Garzone, her 2nd foul, 2nd team foul.
And who is she working against? Atute, who just forces so much attention that the Terps maybe sometimes have to foul.
She now draws the assignment from Brianna Williams, but Atute passed it over to Katie Fiso. Fiso has the nice switch and an easy right-handed layup. That's good. Oregon back within 2.
Fiso quiet, just 4 points for the leading scorer.
Poffenbarger, it's into her hands. She's got no points, 0 for 3 from the field. Gives it to Garzone. Uses her right hand to call over the right screen from Brianna Williams. Now passes it over to the forward, Williams. Williams bounce pass to the baseline, but it can't get to Sailor Poffenbarger. Instead, stolen away by Oregon's Atute. Coast to coast, Atute moves it, but it's intercepted on her pass by Addie Mack. A 1-on-2 break. Addie Mack picks up her dribble, finds it over to Okonawa on the right wing. Slows things down, gets to Addie Mack, the freshman, using her right hand to direct traffic as the point guard. To Williams, now on the right wing. Spin move in the paint, but her layup is blocked by Kane. Oregon with a chance to tie it, and here's a fast break by the Ducks on the right side. Kane's three-pointer off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to Sailor Poffenbarger and Maryland as these two teams trade fast break opportunities. Poffenbarger slows things down into the hands of Garzone. Poffenbarger will try a long righty 3. No. Offensive rebound goes to Addie Mack, and her offensive second chance opportunity is fouled. So Mack will head to the free throw line for the third time today. She's 2 for 3 so far today with a converted and one.
Terps in their last game really struggled from the charity stripe. 13 of 19, that's 68%. And against a ranked opponent like the Washington Huskies, that's not good enough, especially when 2 of those free throws at the end of overtime by Sailor Poffenbarger mattered so much.
Poffenbarger couldn't get what would have been essentially the game-winning free throw as Mack makes her first free throw this attempt. She moves up to 8 points, 3 for 4 from the line. Terps have played 3 overtime periods in the last 2 games. No tired legs, though, as Mack makes both free throws. Maryland 46, Oregon 42. 2 minutes and change left in the third. There's Katie Fiso. She dribbles as a point guard with 4 points to her name. As the right screen doesn't take it, instead goes left. Back out to Muhammad. Pass to Kane. Her straightaway three-pointer is too strong. Offensive rebound goes all the way out to Fiso near the left corner. She's going to be fouled by Addie Mack.
Maryland foul number 3, Addie Mack.
Loose ball foul goes against Mack. Her first personal, third team foul. Oregon's to inbound right in front of the Ducks' bench. It's the sophomore guard from Santa Maria, California, and Avery Kane. There's going to be some conversation about this, though, Peter. Presumably to see where they had the ball going out of bounds. And they'll move Kane back behind the timeline next to her head coach, Kelly Graves. She'll inbound it. Maryland up 46-42, final 2 minutes of the third. Inbound to Fiso. Works on the right side, has a teammate. She finds it in Sophia Bell. Left mid-range, back out to atop the key to Sarah Rambis. Rambis picks up her dribble, hands it off to Katie Fiso. Fiso, left elbow, jumper, swish. Oregon just chipping and chipping away. Now it's back to a 46-44 Maryland lead. Plenty of time on the game clock. Minute 30 in the third quarter as Kendall Walker hits the deck.
Oregon foul number 42 at Avery Kane. That's her second personal.
It's going to be personal foul, the second of the day for Avery Kane. And that actually goes too, as the 16th foul against Oregon puts Maryland in the bonus, where Kendall Walker heads there for the first time tonight. Walker's seeing so much more minutes with the injuries. Really been the 6th woman off the bench so far across the last couple games. First free throw is good for an 80% free throw shooter. Gives Walker her 3rd point today. She's 1 of 5 from the field. Walker 3 dribbles, spins the ball in her hand, puts up the 2nd free throw, and swishes it home to a 48-44 Maryland lead in the final 92 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Katie Fiso in Oregon's alternate black uniforms calls out the offense with the right hand as she moves it up the timeline. Pass it to the left wing. Has it with Bell. Bell to Kane, now on left wing with Muhammad. Muhammad picks up her dribble, finds it back with Fiso. It's swatted away by Okanawa. Oregon's inbound with 12 seconds on the shot clock, a minute 14 on the game clock. Inbound goes to Fiso. Picked up by Rambis. She's got 2 Terps in her face and quickly a jump ball. Rambis and Maryland's Alucia Okanawa get tied up for the ball. Arrow points in Maryland's direction, but now into the 3rd quarter, Peter. Both teams wanting to create those extra possessions and create some extra intensity.
Yeah, that one, lucky that it wasn't something more. Okanawa and Arambis got tied up, and Arambis, the bigger of the two, almost picked up Okanawa when she was yanking that ball, and I think Okanawa took offense to it. Luckily, Izimeme Ozzy Mamadou from Maryland there to kind of whisk her away from what could have been an altercation.
I was going to say, it was Ozzy Mamadou who then did pick up her teammate in Okanawa. Here it is with Alucci. 24 points to her name, just 1 since halftime. Our zone mid-range shot is short, 2 bounces off the rim, and it's tipped out. We'll say Ozzy Mamadou was the last one to touch it. So out of bounds on Maryland, and possession back to Oregon.
Maryland foul number 9, Izzy Ozzy.
They'll give Ozzy Mamadou a foul actually too on the loose ball. That's her 4th foul for Ozzy Mamadou. 4th team foul for Maryland.
And what that does is that forces back in Maria Boyko,
Yep.
who played just about 30 seconds in the first half Coach Freeze was going with Brianna Williams a lot more, but the Terps need this minute from Boyko to close out this third quarter.
Looking for some defense with Maryland up 48-44. Final 45 seconds until the fourth quarter. Fiso back outside to Bell. And pass with Fiso, now gets it to Rambis. Working down the left side, finds a teammate. Instead it's stolen and Boyko. Here come the Terps. Shot clock 1 second ahead of the game clock. Still on for Sailor Poffenbarger. She dribbles it and hands it off to Lucia Okonowa. Maryland head coach Brenda Williams calls out the play right in front of Okonowa, who's content to let this shot clock run down. Shot clock 8 seconds, game clock at 9. Okonowa tries to get a teammate back out in Garzone. Loose ball to Walker. 2 seconds, 1 second. The layup for Okonowa is good. Gucci Aluchi Okonowa ends the third quarter. She's up to 26 points and a 50-44 Maryland lead. Terps up by 6 entering the final 10 minutes of play. A back and forth third quarter eventually goes Maryland's way, Peter.
Yeah, on the stat sheet, Okonowa still leading the way for the Terps, 26 out of Maryland's 50, but that quarter was all about distribution. Terps got production from everyone on the bench, in the starting lineup. They got the points where they needed them, and more importantly, they spread them out, so Oregon never really knew what was coming.
14-point third quarter, led by 5 points by Addie Mack, slowing down Aluchi Okonowa a bit, but she's still got a game-high 26 points. We'll see if she can get to that career high at 34. We're 3 quarters through. Number 16, Maryland women's basketball, 50, Oregon 44. We're setting up for a final exciting 10 minutes of play to end off January here at the Xfinity Center. Don't go anywhere. You want to keep it right here as you're listening to Maryland women's basketball, fourth quarter on deck on WMUC Sports.
Pleasure to welcome you inside the Xfinity Center as we are 30 minutes down, just 10 to go. And Maryland looking to close this one out and get back in the win column. They've lost 3 straight, but after 3 quarters, they lead the Oregon Ducks 50-44. Here on WMUC Sports, I'm Peter Kelly, he's Ryan Martin. And Oregon starts with the basketball shooting on the right hoop, but Katie Fiso throws it away. Maybe she didn't want to start with the basketball because she gave it right back to the Terps.
Terps team that didn't look like they needed too much help, Peter. Really good end of the third quarter that has Maryland at a 6-point lead. Terps' defense has been really good, including now forcing a 15th Oregon turnover.
We saw in the last game, however, no lead is secure. The Terps were up as many as 13, but ended up letting Washington back into that one and forcing overtime before the Huskies got it done after 2 extra periods. There's a whistle off the ball, and there's a foul called on Oregon's Ari Long.
And those are interesting quick substitutions, too, for Brenda Williams. She takes out Maria Boyko 16 seconds after she started the fourth quarter.
Garzone sidestepping mid-range is no good. The defensive rebound yanked down for Sophia Bell. And now Oregon brings it across the timeline. 30 seconds gone. Maryland leading this one 50-44. Amina Muhammad catches it at the top of the key. Spins it to the left wing. Bell drives inside to the left block. Cross-court pass. 3 on its way from Long. Left it short. Rebound pulled down by Muhammad, but there is a foul on the glass. And it looks like it's going to go against Maryland.
Maryland foul number 6, Sailor Poffenbarger. That's her
So
second.
Sailor Poffenbarger gets that whistle. It's her second foul of the contest, so not in any trouble yet. But getting an early foul on the board may not bode well if this game does come down to free throws, and the bonus could be looming. Atute picks up her dribble at the top of the key, now gives it over to Fiso. 8 on the shot clock. Muhammad lobs it down low. Atute right under the hoop, puts it in.
Ahis Atute.
So Atute up to 20 points and 11 boards on the day. And that one kicked out of bounds. It stays with Maryland. Poffenbarger will inbound on the near side. Actually, Okonowa is going to do the honors. Okonowa slaps the basketball, now dishes it over to the point guard, Kendall Walker, the redshirt freshman from just up the road in Beltsville, Maryland. Gives it to Okonowa, who's defended by Bell. 20 on the shot clock, 8:50 in the game, 50-46, Maryland leads it. Poffenbarger dribbles with the left at the top of the key and throws it away. It's loose and Muhammad comes up with it for Oregon. Back to Atute, trying to find up the court Fiso, but it's intercepted by Poffenbarger, so the Terps get it right back. Poffenbarger trying to play advantage across the floor to Garzone. It's poked away by Muhammad, and it stays at this end with the Terps.
Yeah, Sailor Poffenbarger looking like maybe Jalen Husky or one of these Maryland defensive backs who had so much success, in the secondary last year for Terps football. It was a great interception. Maryland gets it after the deflected off the Oregon Duck defensively too.
So Poffenbarger commits a turnover, then gets a steal. So it's basically canceling out. 50-46, Terps lead it. Okonowa dribbling with the left, now switches to the right. Pink shoes dart inside, throws it up, lost it. She wanted some contact, she didn't get it. She hit the deck, and the ball goes out of bounds. It stays at this end with Maryland.
Number 0, Astera Tahiti, returns for the Ducks.
Garzone to bring this one in.
I say that's been one category where Oregon's really dominated. 6 blocks for the Ducks to 0 for Maryland. Oregon using its size.
Garzone lobs it up the floor to the safety net. Addie Mack could just check back in for Walker. She's marked up by Astera Tuhina. Mack drives inside, 2 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass Williams as the buzzer sounds, no good. And the rebound goes to the shortest player on the floor in Tuhina for Oregon. Up the floor to Bell, down low at Atute, trying to go to work on Garzone, puts it up strongly with the left, and she's got 22. The lead is 2. Maryland up 2, 50-48, but Oregon gets the first 4 of the fourth.
The timeout called by Maryland's Brenda Freeze. I think you have to with what Atute has done so far to Oregon. Now up to a team-high 22 points. You mentioned the 11 rebounds she has as well. Both just showing the size advantage I think she's had against this Maryland forwards, including Yarden Garzone, who's certainly more of an offensive presence, leading the Big Ten in threes. We've seen some of those substitutions where you take out a Garzone, bring in Mir McLean or Maria Boyko for 1 or 2 possessions. I think that was something that Freeze did more along the lines in the first half. We'll see if she maybe goes to it across about the last 8 minutes if Atute is going to keep having success like she is.
So Ahis Atute, the first 2 buckets of the fourth quarter, she's up to 22 points, wearing number 35 in yellow for the black jersey donned Oregon Ducks. Atute in her last game versus Rutgers had 17 points and 9 rebounds, and those 17 points not only led the team in that game, but that was a career high for her. So she has now shattered that number. She's building on that performance tremendously. So the 22 points, a new career high for the sophomore from Luxembourg. Actually, she played with the Luxembourg under-18 national team. And Ryan, get this, standing at just 6 feet tall, she averaged 19 points and 17 rebounds a game.
She's someone who can clearly use her height in the best ways for her and advantageously as we keep it here during this fourth quarter media timeout on WMUC Sports. First of all, I think it's so cool when you look at the rosters, right? We've talked all season about Maryland starting point guard Leah Bartelme from Slovenia. You got Ozzy Mamadou from England, Garzone from Israel, Fratea from Romania, and even some Belarus action with Maria Boyko. But you look at Oregon, you got Astera Tahina from Kosovo. Mavias for them isn't starting, but she's from Germany. And then, Dudelange Luxembourg for Atute. She's used her side really well, and she's playing her best basketball as of late, setting new career highs in back-to-back games, as you said.
And it's interesting because of all the international talent on the floor, you think that there may be some representation from some of the powerhouses in international basketball, but there's no one from Spain or France or Canada. These are nations that maybe you don't have to consider basketball hotbeds, but they've got a couple good players over to the U.S. And actually for Atute, she played professionally on their website where a lot of players will have a previous school. Maybe they transferred in from UCLA or Washington State. Atute has a professional team, T71 Dudelange, and they wanted to keep her over there in Luxembourg playing for that top flight club, but she made the decision to come over to the United States. She is now in her second year with the Oregon Ducks and having a career day.
She even missed the first 6 games of the Ducks this season because she was playing on that Luxembourg national team in the FIBA Euro Basketball 2025 qualifier. So a lot of excitement, especially with international night being just last game against Washington.
Back in after the timeout, Terps lead this one 50-48. They were shooting on the left hoop, and Gearzone has it for him at the top of the key. 7:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Gearzone picks up her dribble at the right wing. Now dishes it back out to Mack. Mack drives to the left wing. Layup is no good. Rebound tipped around, and Williams gets her hands on it and pulling at it in contest with Amina Muhammad. It seems like a jump ball should be called. I don't see any thumbs in the air, but I have to imagine that's the call. If it is, it stays with Maryland, and it looks like it will stay at this end with the Terps. And even 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this contest, at least in regulation. You never know. We've seen overtime in the last 2 games at the Xfinity Center. Mack, nice finish on the left block. She's tripped up after the play. Williams hit the deck on the rebounding effort, and their legs got tangled up, but Mack driving in from the left corner, finishing nicely through some contact.
And I was just going to say that. How about with all the defense and size that we've talked about from Atute, you get a player like freshman Addie Mack at just 5'9". She's not scared to go there and even gets that layup over Atute.
Mack now the second Terp in double figures with 11. On the other end, Atute down low, too big, too strong, bullying Brianna Williams. She gets the lead back to 2, 52-50. Maryland leads it. Kendall Walker trying to respond, and she cannot with a layup of her own. Tuhina gets the defensive board. Up the floor for Ari Long. Under 7 to play in this contest. Tuhina tries up a right-handed floater. It's no good. Rebound tipped around. Okonowa was falling out of bounds, and she wisely tosses it off of Atute to keep it with the Terps.
Yeah, this hasn't been Okonowa's second half scoring-wise after we saw her have 23 first-half points, but it's the little plays like that showing the veteran leadership as the junior making the extra possession-type plays.
Mack, the freshman point guard from Minneapolis, brings it up the floor for the Terrapins. They move right to left. They're shooting on the left basket in their red uniforms. Mack trying to go to work down low, trying to post up long, and she gets the fall-away jumper to go, extending the lead back to 4. 54-50 Terps. 6 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this contest. Sophia Bell has it on the left wing. Picks up her dribble. Walker swarms her. She gives it over to Muhammad. Now it's right back with Long. Ari Long to the left elbow. Give and go to Atute, and that is an easy finish. For the leading scorer on the day for Oregon, now equaling Okonowa's total. They've both got 26.
Oregon calls timeout.
So Oregon's going to call a timeout. Coach Kelly Graves wanting to talk over his team. He's in his 12th season with the Ducks. He's winning about 2 out of every 3 games in Eugene, Oregon. Career win percentage of .688. One of the elite coaches in the sport. Spent some time at Gonzaga, where he was an 8-time WCC Coach of the Year. And now in his 12th season with the Ducks, he's coached WNBA talent, and not just talent, he's coached stars. Sabrina Ionescu, maybe you remember that name. So sensational in her time at Eugene, as well as Satu Sabali. They teamed up in Ionescu's last season. They were both WNBA first rounders. And also at Gonzaga, he coached Courtney Vandersloot, who's one of the premier point guards in the WNBA. So Kelly Graves has a track record of developing elite talent to the pros.
I was wondering how long it would take us to bring up Sabrina Ionescu, right? One of the great Oregon women's basketball alumnus. But Ionescu was great under Graves, and that's a player who really transformed not only Oregon women's basketball, but Oregon athletics, right? She came before Kelsey Plum at Washington, or she came after Kelsey Plum at Washington, before Caitlin Clark at Iowa. Those were the cornerstones that it can become really big for building what women's basketball is today in the college scene. So Kelly Graves has been a legend at Oregon And he's sharing the sideline, too, with Brenda Fries, who isn't too shabby herself with everything that she's done across 24 seasons at Maryland. This is a really great coaching matchup, and that's what you get night in and night out in the Big Ten, as Fries, tries to help Maryland break this 3-game losing streak. She's looking for her 200th career Big Ten win. She's looked for that win across this losing streak, and maybe 6 minutes away from doing it. We're setting up for a fantastic finish, though, Peter, with it 54-52 at the moment.
6:07 to play. We're keeping it right here with you on WMUC Sports. Terps lead this one 54-52 over the Oregon Ducks. And Ryan, you mentioned that the exposure of women's basketball is heightened over the past decade or so, starting with Kelsey Plum, who brought a lot of eyes to the spotlight after she broke Pete Maravich's all-time scoring record. And then the guard was changed to Sabrina Ionescu, who was the triple-double machine. And then, of course, Caitlin Clark at Iowa. Now with the Indiana Fever, she's brought so many eyes to the game. There's always been the talent. There really has. It's just the amount of people watching. I mean, back in the 90s, the 2000s, Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, the talent has always been there. But it's great to see exceptional players like Ionescu, Plum, and Clark be able to bring the eyes actually into the sport so people can see all that college basketball on the women's side has to offer.
And the question's always got to be, too, like, who's the next one, right? Like, who can you be watching out for and saying, okay, she could transform the college game soon. I think USC has two ballers right now in Jazzy Davidson and Juju Watkins. Obviously, Watkins hurt this year. Lauren Betts, we saw for that UCLA trip. I'm seeing a little bit of Lauren Betts, though, right now in Atute with what we've seen from her 26-point, 11-rebound performance so far.
Back out of the timeout, Mack drives up a three. It is no good, off the right side of the rim. So the timeout, since having expired, each team has called one in the fourth quarter, and now Oregon has the ball working on the right hoop. They trail it by 2, 54-52. The Maryland Terrapins in front of the Xfinity Center. Cross-court pass, and the three is good from Sophia Bell. She hits her second triple of the day, and now Oregon's got the lead, 55-54.
Big moment for Oregon's first second-half three.
Okonowa had it in the left corner. Now she's going to drive to the baseline. Gives it away to Ozzy Mamadou. Tried to go cross-court to Mack, but the pass was tipped and intercepted. So Oregon forces the turnover, and now they'll push it in transition. Katie Fiso has it on the left wing, trying to drive on Walker, kicks it out to Bell. Across the floor, Jacobs now back up top with Fiso. Katie Fiso, the 6-foot-tall point guard from Seattle, Washington. Her coach Graves thinks that she's the best point guard in the country. You can see she's so quick with the handle. Now she's going to try a three. Her pull-up from distance was no good. She left it short. Under 5 to play. Terps trail it by 1. They need a bucket here. Walker gives it back out to Mack, and now it is with Kendall Walker. She's got the mismatch. Atute is marking her up at the top of the key.
Some miscommunication offensively for Maryland.
Now down low, Ozzy Mamadou had the other mismatch on Jacobs, and she was fouled.
So Yarden Garzone, one of the more experienced players, in fact, the most experienced on the court right now between her, Mack, Okonowa, Walker, and Ozzy Mamadou. Garzone was in the left corner screaming at Ozzy Mamadou to come to the left block to set up the play. Just a miscommunication that, you can't really have in game 22 of this season, especially in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Fortunately, it does not bite the Terps as they still retain possession. Mack comes across the screen from Ozzy Mamadou and tosses up the mid-range. It's too strong. The rebound is there for Oregon and Avery Kane. 4.5 to play. Oregon clinging to a 1-point lead in a back-and-forth affair. Here on WMUC Sports, Peter Kelly, Ryan Martin with you. Katie Fiso, she loves the crossover. She stands on the red Maryland M in her gray shoes and black jersey. She now pushes it towards the three-point line. Now down to the right block. Picks up the dribble. She was bumped by Garzone, and they're going to get the whistle. So it will be the third team foul on Maryland, and it is the third foul on Garzone. Okonowa checks out, so the leading scorer on the day for the Terps is off the floor. Poffenbarger re-enters, so the 5 is Walker, Poffenbarger, Garzone, Ozzy Mamadou, and Mack. Oregon gets an inbound underneath their own hoop. They set up in the classic box formation. They set 2 screens. It goes to the right corner with Bell, who now dishes it up top to Atute, a foul away from the ball. It's going to go against Maryland's Addie Mack, who gave a bump to Mia Jacobs.
Maryland foul number 3, Addie Mack. That's her second personal, third team foul.
Second on the day for the freshman from Minneapolis. Oregon with a fresh 20. 4:05 to play. Fiso lobs it down low for Atute. She left the layup short, which is something we had not seen all day today. She had oodles of space and could not finish, so a break for Maryland. Now can they capitalize? Poffenbarger's on the right wing. She drives to the free throw line. Now down to the left block, puts it up with the right. No good, too strong. Rebound is loose. Bodies on the floor. A pile of humanity. And Oregon is the one who comes away with it. Fiso across half court. And they should just take their time here. They've really struggled when they've tried to rush things, but leading by one, there's no reason to go quickly. Look for the best shot here. Atute has it on the right wing, trying to find Avery Kane, but Garzone is marking her well. It does go to Kane, who gets a switch onto Ozzy Mamadou. Cross-court pass, left corner, three is money from Sophia Bell. She has really hurt the Terrapins from behind the arc.
That's a tough one to see go through the hoop if you're a Maryland fan. Big-time three from Bell.
Now Ozzy Mamadou in the low post, tosses it up, scoop shot, no. And the defensive board is there for Katie Fiso. 58-54 Oregon with their largest lead of the fourth quarter, under 3 to play. Terps just have to get one stop, and then they can look about cutting into this lead. Cross-court pass is intercepted. Trying to find Bell again in the corner. Garzone comes away with it, now lobs it to Ozzy Mamadou, and a travel is called. Ozzy Mamadou did not know what to do with the ball, standing on her own three-point line in Maryland's defensive half, and she shuffled the feet, turning it back to the Ducks.
She's shaking her head right now, looking at the officiating crew. That's just a really tough call in the final 3 minutes of this game. And now with Oregon up by 4, a bucket would go a long way towards a Ducks win. Maryland needs this defensive stop here.
It's an 8-0 run for Oregon. They lead at 58-54. Across the court, Bell, right corner three. She cannot miss.
A three-point basket by Sophia Bell.
61-54, the largest lead of the second half for the Ducks. And with 2.5 to play, time is running out on the Terps. Okanawa down low for Ozzy Mamadou, who deflects off her hands, and now she is about 15 feet away from the hoop. Gives it out to Mack, who's at the top of the key, steps behind the three-point line, now dishes it over to Okanawa. Right corner, drives to the baseline, goes up strong, and she gets the contact. She will shoot two.
That's a huge three from Bell, who now has 9 points, 3 for 3 from deep in this fourth quarter. 14 points overall, and then you go from that three to Maryland offensively. I think if you're an Oregon fan, you just got to love the switches right now that the Ducks are making on Alucia Okanawa. She's at the line, 26 points, but just 3 since halftime.
Lucia Okanawa stands alone at the charity stripe. Her first free throw touches every part of the rim but the bottom. 61-54, the score stays. 2:15 to play. Maryland trails this one by 7 here on WMUC Sports Radio. I'm Peter Kelly alongside Ryan Martin. Okanawa gets the second to fall, so the lead is trimmed to 6:61-55. Oregon still in front. Maryland applies pressure. The ball is loose in the paint. Poffenbarger comes away with it, but there is a whistle called, and it goes against Maryland. The crowd doesn't like it.
I thought originally that it was going to be a kick ball against Alucia Okanawa, but they say that she reaches in on Atute. It goes off Atute's foot after the foul. A couple unfavorable calls consecutively for Maryland.
Maryland in a 1-2-2 man press. The inbound goes to Fiso. It's poked away. Poffenbarger right under the hoop, gets the bunny.
Huge.
And it's a 4-point game. Inbound pass tipped, and it will go towards Oregon, but you can see the Ducks are flustered by this Maryland press.
Oregon calls timeout.
So flustered, in fact, that head coach Kelly Graves needs a timeout to talk this over with 2:01 to play. And with Maryland seeing how well that pressure worked, you can better believe that they're going to keep that up over the last 120 seconds.
This is what's extended games for Maryland. I think you go back to Maryland's best win of the season, a double overtime win at Minnesota, and they had comebacks in regulation and in the first overtime because of how crucial and how technical this full court press is. That's what Maryland did in that win. They've done it at times too, whether it was the loss at Illinois or the loss in overtime against Iowa. Something we practice, at the end of every shoot-around is every step having meaning in that full-court press, and it's leading to some good baskets like that one there for the Terps.
So your score, 61-57. Oregon leads it over the 16th-ranked Maryland Terrapins. Teams with similar records, although Oregon is outside the polls and Maryland is within. 17-5 are the Terps. Even 500 in conference, 5-5.
There is no appeal of the out of bounds.
So they were thinking about going to the monitor to check whose ball it was, but instead the referees just confirmed for us what we already knew, which is that it was a timeout for the Oregon Ducks. On the flip side, the Ducks are 16-7, but 4-6 in the Big Ten. They're trying to get their third straight conference win for the first time this season. But you mentioned early in the game, Ryan, they had lost 4 straight previous to this 2-game win streak that they're on currently. Oregon has broken the huddle. The black jerseys with gold numerals are back on the floor. And now Maryland joins them. 2:01 to play.
That's plenty of time for this 4-point deficit for Maryland. No need to foul, just playing this defense that, again, Maryland can do so sound technically.
Poffenbarger defends the inbounder. Etute, it goes to Fiso. She's trapped in the lower left corner. She gets it away to Etute, who dribbles it up the floor and breaks the press. So Maryland did well in the first test, but once Fiso got it away, Etute had so much daylight, she just took it herself. Now there's 13 on the shot clock. Fiso's at the right wing. She's moving with no intensity. Defended by Addie Mack. 7 on the shot clock now. Jacobs has it at the top of the key, defended by Okanoa. Shakes her off, now goes down low for Etute. Going to work on Poffenbarger across the floor, long mid-range. And Ari Long extends the lead to 6. Nothing but net on that 15-footer.
And that's the exact shot I think you want if you're Maryland, Peter. They got it to Etute on the right block. Sailor Poffenbarger was calm in her defense of her. She tried to go for a reverse layup. So Poffenbarger was ready, so you force it to Ari Long, a mid-range shot from the left side with just tenths of a second left on the shot clock as Oregon winded it down, and it goes in. That's what the Ducks have done this fourth quarter. Really well done for an Oregon team that's made 5 of its last 7 from the field. That doesn't make the last 90 seconds any easier for Maryland, but that defense almost left nothing else you could have done if you were the Terps.
It's unfortunate because in the last few games especially, you can actually point to mental lapses or errors in the Terps defense. But on that possession in particular, the Terps really didn't do anything wrong. They locked up Etute. They didn't give Fiso, their leading scorer, an opportunity. And then, who but Ari Long steps up, just 7 points a game, 36% from the field, which is among the lower half of this Oregon Ducks team. But when her name is called, she steps up and drains the mid-range. So Oregon leads at 63-57. They've hit 5 of their last 7 shots. And Maryland has just 90 seconds now to cut down this deficit and try to avoid moving to a 4-game skid. Ducks don't apply pressure. Poffenbarger will inbound it to Mack. And the Terps are going to want to hustle here. Mack jogs it up the floor across the red Maryland M. To the right wing for Garzone. Garzone pushes it on the floor with the left. Dishes it to Walker. Drives baseline. Kicked out to Mack. Left wing 3. No. Offensive board is Garzone. Maryland still has it. 1:12 to play. Mack drives in. Scoop shot off the right glass. It's good. There's no magical 6-point play, Ryan, but the Terps just have to get bucket after bucket, and they get their first there. They trail it by 4, 63-59. Under a minute to play. Oregon lobs it up the floor and breaks the press easily. Ari Long pushes it back out for the Ducks. Maybe now Maryland may think about fouling. They don't have a foul to give, so any foul they commit will push Oregon into the bonus.
Shot clock 30 seconds ahead of the game clock.
There's an even 40 on the game clock. There's 8 on the shot clock. Fiso has got it. She's on an island. Trying to get it to Etute down low. It's loose on the ground. Etute comes up with it. 1 on the shot clock, and they turn it over. Mack comes away with it for the Terps. Drives inside across the 3-point line to the right block. She's fouled. And Addie Mack is going to get a chance to cut into this deficit.
If Mack can make both these free throws, Peter, that was a near perfect defense to offense. Mack is still down on the left block after going up for that layup. But now, after those 2 free throws, if you can make it a 2-point game, the shot clock's still going to be on. It'll be 27 seconds on the game clock as it is now. 25 on the shot clock when it goes on. Mack back to her feet. It's going to be tight, and you need these 2 free throws for Addie Mack, who we hope is okay. Now clenching the white Gatorade towel on her left knee that she's favoring. She'll hand the towel back to her 24th-year head coach, Brenda Fries. And the freshman will head to the free throw line. But this is Maryland putting itself in position. Correction on that, too. The shot clock will be turned off. Shot clock will turn off 27 seconds, lower than the 30-second shot clock.
So like you mentioned, obviously Maryland needs to hit these free throws. But Addie Mack needs to be okay first. And it seems like she is. Terps already down 5 guards, but Mack will stay in. She is a 90% free throw shooter. Her first is money. It's now a one-possession game, 63-60. The Ducks still lead with 27.1 to play. Clutch free throws down the stretch for the freshman. Mack gets them both. 63-61 Oregon. Timeout called.
That's the calmness, the composure that you love to see in a freshman who has had struggles at this moment of the game. Remember, this is a Maryland team that's playing a one-score game in the final 27 seconds. Terps have played 3 overtime periods in the last 2 games. Double overtime last game and a loss to Washington. Overtime loss against Iowa, too, a couple games ago. So Maryland has had maybe its share and then some of clutch moment opportunities. Mack, as you mentioned, a 90% free throw shooter, so important that she makes both of those to make it a 2-possession game. Peter, you got a foul now. Hope that Oregon misses one if you're a Maryland fan, and then see if the Terps, maybe with the Big Ten leader in 3 points made, and Yarden Garzone has a shot. But with the shot clock turned off, this might be Brenda Frese drawing up where Maryland can get the quickest foul.
It is interesting, too, because with how Maryland has pressured, they forced a couple turnovers. I don't think the Terps will foul right away. They have 27.1 to play in this game. They trail it by 2. Maybe they try to force a turnover first, and then Oregon breaks the press.
Try to get a turnover, a steal on the inbound, because for Maryland, it's only 4 team fouls. So Oregon not in the bonus yet either. You'll have to watch that as Maryland needs 6 fouls as a team to get into the bonus.
Oregon can advance the ball after their timeout. They inbound it in front of the scorer's table on their own half. Ari Long is searching, marked up by Poffenberger. Bounce pass inbounds to Katie Fiso, and she is fouled quickly by Addie Mack. So that is the 3rd foul of the day on Addie Mack, and the 5th foul on Maryland means that Oregon has now entered the bonus, and Katie Fiso is at the free throw line where they're shooting about 2 of 3 on the day. The number exactly 6 out of 9 for Oregon. Fiso's first is pure. It's now a 3-point game, and this one is the one that matters. It determines whether the Terps need 1 bucket or 2. Katie Fiso, the sophomore guard, drains them both. 65-61, Oregon leads it. Timeout called quickly by Coach Brenda Frese.
That's what good teams do too, Peter. Making the free throws when it matters. That's really been a bugaboo for Maryland across the last couple losses in this 3-game skid. So credit where it's due. 2 made free throws for Fiso. Her first 2 shots from the line today couldn't have come in a more high-pressure moment against the number 16 team in the country. But Oregon gets it done. Fiso does as well, to the tune of a 65-61 lead.
Fiso just 8 points on the day. She has double figures in 21 out of her 23 games this year. So as it stands, she's going to go under that mark, but she has showed up when it matters most. The point guard has been a key distributor here today as well. Boy, I think fans of this team that have followed the Terps, at least over the last week, maybe want to invest in some lemon juice with how often they've been biting their nails. These games have just been so close down the stretch, and whether it's a win or a lose, Maryland has had no room to breathe in really any late game situation.
We've had shades of March, though, in January, Peter, across this last week and change. It's been exciting for Maryland. Now looks to pull it out.
So they advance it past half court after the timeout. Garzone inbound goes to Mack. Remember, the Terps trail it by 4 with 22 seconds. That means they need 2 buckets. Garzone left wing 3, no. Defensive rebound is there for Mia Jacobs. Oregon spamming timeout. And they do get the timeout off before Jacobs was fouled, so it's going to bleed at least another second off the clock. Maryland couldn't get the contact in time.
We have full timeout for Oregon. It's last of the game. Of course, that shouldn't matter too much going forward. We'll see if Maryland can come back from this 4-point cushion, or this 4-point deficit right now. Don't hate the shot from Yarden Garzone, a near left corner 3-pointer. But as you mentioned, you know, you're not really shooting for a 4-point play in a situation like this. Oregon smartly backing off the 3-point shot, because the worst thing you want to do would be an and 1 that could potentially tie the game from deep. But you needed 2 shots. Don't know if that was the easiest looking shot for Garzone, who leaves it just short. Now it's going to be an uphill battle for Maryland if it wants to avoid a 4th straight loss.
As the clock extends on this Saturday evening, nearing 7 p.m., and as the calendar is about to shift into February, today the last day of January. You mentioned, Ryan, these games feeling more and more like March, and we've seen so many late game scenarios from the Terps over the past 3 games. And what I found interesting is when Brenda Fries has had time to talk to her team, the plays they've drawn up have been good. They're getting shots with space and they're getting the right people shooting the ball. But unfortunately, they just haven't been going in. And it's good to get these out of your system now, so when they really matter down in March, you can be more prepared. But you just cannot emulate that pressure that comes with a full crowd here at Xfinity. You can't emulate it in practice. You can't really emulate it in pregame. It just has to happen when the clock is low.
Terps have 2 freshmen on the court right now, Peter. If you ask Brenda Fries preseason if that would be the case come last game of January and a game that's this close in this clutch of a moment, don't think she would have predicted that.
16.2, Oregon gets it in. The Jacobs Arizona reaches in and commits the foul. So about a second and a half dribbles off the clock. 14.7, it is stopped. And Oregon, beating this one 65-61, will go to the free throw line with a chance to extend the lead. And it will be Mia Jacobs, the senior from Perth, Australia.
Mia Jacobs, shooting 2.
Jacobs at her 3rd school, started out at LaSalle in Philadelphia before moving to Fresno State. And now with the Oregon Ducks, her first free throw is no good. She pushed it too far off of the back heel. Still a 2-possession game. Jacobs' second free throw is pure, so it is 66-61. Oregon now leads it by 5. And now Maryland calls their second to last timeout.
Yep. Obviously advance the ball up. The 1 free throw extends that lead back up to 5, so we'll see if it's Garzone maybe getting drawn up another play for her, a similar left corner 3-pointer look. Garzone has made just that 1 3-pointer today for 3 points. Would be a season low for Yarden.
Looking down the line for these teams, obviously the game here not over yet, but Maryland finishing up a 3-game homestand, and they will then move on to a 2-game road stretch in the Midwest. On Wednesday, they will take on another ranked opponent that the Terps seemingly can't get enough of. Michigan State is next on deck, 6:30 p.m. start time on Wednesday, February 4th. They will stay on the road Saturday in Lincoln to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That is a 2 p.m. start on Saturday the 7th. Terps inbound with 14.7 to go. Garzone shoots it over to Mack. Mack will take a 3. Left it short, missed everything, and this one bounces out of bounds. It goes back towards Oregon. And unfortunately there, Mack had to force up that shot because the Terps still down 2 possessions, so I'm sure Coach Fries was telling them, quick shot, quick shot, quick shot. But that one just well contested, and they had no chance. Oregon inbound goes to Bell, and she is wrapped up. Garzone and Poffenbarger over there. And it looks like it goes against Poffenbarger.
Maryland foul number 6, Sailor Poffenbarger. That's her 3rd.
3rd foul on Sailor Poffenbarger. 7 seconds to play in this contest. 66-61 Oregon. Trying to ice it. Sophia Bell is at the free throw line. She is a 90% free throw shooter. If she makes them both, this is a 3-possession game. Bell's first is nylon, 67-61. Oregon now leading by 6.
Yes, in all likelihood looking like a 4th straight loss for Maryland, who will drop to below 500 in Big Ten play.
Bell puts up the second, and she gets it. 68-61. Maryland calls their last time out because why not? But 7 seconds left. They trail it by 7. It seems more and more unlikely that the Terps are going to slide once more.
Fans start to head for the exits here on a Saturday evening at the Xfinity Center. Good game of women's college basketball. And this is a game, I think, Peter, you look back, and this is Maryland growing up again a little bit. That's what Brenda Fries said after that double overtime loss against Washington on Wednesday. Might be it's coaches speak. It's repeating from that last loss, but I think it's true. I think when you have such a young roster of, a handful of freshmen who are averaging, close to 14 minutes per game, this is an inexperienced Maryland team and now a thin Maryland team because of those 4 season-ending injuries that the Terps have suffered this year. So games like this where you have big late-game moment situations, even if this game doesn't it just has a loss versus an overtime loss as the last 2 have, these are the kind of games, I think you're right, that you can get them out of your system before February starts, where Brenda Fries' teams have historically been very successful in February before March happens, as Maryland made the Sweet 16 last year after a really poor January about a year ago from now. Could be a big opportunity for the Terps.
68-61 Oregon in front of the Terrapins. Garzone searching in front of the scorer's table, gets it to Mack. She moves backwards, now back towards the hoop. 3 seconds to play, out to Poffenbarger. The Terps may not get a shot off. Poffenbarger's step back three, no. And an unproductive possession ends another unproductive day for the Terps. They put up just 61 points. They lose it by 7. Oregon comes on the road, sweeps the East Coast trip, and takes this one 68-61 over a top 25 team in the Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah, this one's a tough one for Maryland, right? You have 3 losses in a row for the Terps. I mentioned the overtimes, but you look at the factor in all 3 of those losses that come to UCLA, Iowa, and Washington. Those are all ranked losses, including the first 2 being top 10 losses at number 3 UCLA and at home to number 10 Iowa. For this one, it's a better Oregon team than the record suggests, a tough-playing Oregon team, including what we saw out of Ahis Etute today. How about this, setting her new career high with 26 points and 11 rebounds. Oregon played Maryland perfectly today, and for Maryland, you just got to officially now put this whole January behind you. You have 7 more opportunities guaranteed before the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament takes place in Indianapolis. Maryland's got 3 of those 7 games remaining against ranked competition. That includes next time out, where Maryland heads over to number 13 Michigan on Wednesday. There's a lot for Maryland to feel good about in terms of getting experience, but at the end of the day, it's the same issues late in games. It's the free throws. It's the maybe 2 rushed shots as you try to come back from deficits in the final 3 minutes or so, and I think there's a lot to look at before that game in East Lansing on Wednesday.
Of course, the end goal for this Terrapins team is March. You want to get to that NCAA tournament, and as it stands right now, they're not in any danger. Bracketology via Charlie Cream has them as a 4 seed, Oregon a 9 seed. There are 12 Big Ten teams projected to make the tournament. That is the most in the country for any conference. But you mentioned this is another game where they have to grow. You're running out of opportunities to grow before the games really start to matter in that Big Ten tournament and in March. And like you mentioned, 3 games down the stretch against ranked opponents starting on Wednesday against Michigan State. All 3 of those games, Ryan, are on the road. So the Terps have their work cut out for them. And they're going to need to get that sour taste out of their mouth. It's not going to get any easier against Michigan State on Wednesday. But they've got to get it done.
They do. They do. Maryland now has more losses in the conference this season than they did all of last season. 5 Big Ten losses for Maryland a season ago. Now 6 with 7 Big Ten games remaining for the Terps. It's exactly what Brenda Fries said after that Washington loss. This conference isn't for the weak. And you got a lot of new players to the conference, whether it's in transfers like Lucia Kanawa, who comes over from Duke, or in freshmen who are seeing so many increased minutes in an Addie Mack, or a Rainey Wilson, who's not even healthy for this game. She's missed about the last 2 weeks or so with an injury. So a lot of growing up to do, a lot of getting experience for this Maryland team. That simply just has to look forward, because there's nothing you can look at from this 4-game losing streak that could really say, all right, if I sit in this feeling, it'll help me come the first week of March. I think Brenda Fries knows that as best as anyone after her 24 years here.
Terps just have to move on. Like you mentioned, it's a tough Big Ten conference. They can't expect to go undefeated down the stretch, but they've got to win the games that they can. Terps led by Okonomo with 27. Oregon led by Etute with 26. That will do it for us here on WMUC Sports. Maryland drops the tough one to the Oregon Ducks, visiting from Eugene. They take it 68-61. For Ryan Martin, I've been Peter Kelly. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday evening here with us on WMUC Sports Radio. Have a good night, everyone.